Oh, here, let's talk about the two Americans returned to U.S. from Mexico. 2 others are found dead.
Breaking news, Mexico's president says 2 of the 4 Americans apparently kidnapped in Mexico have been found dead, but the other 2 have been found alive and are now back in the United States. Matt Rivers joins me live from Mexico City. Matt, there have been a lot of developments throughout the morning. Can you tell us what is the very latest as it stands now?
Yeah, this is a developing story as we go, no question about it. Really, it was just this morning that we found out that 2 of the 4 Americans that were kidnapped were confirmed dead as a result of this shootout that the 4 Americans were caught in. 2 others survived. In terms of the IDs of the 4 people, the 4 Americans, we still have not yet confirmed who are the Americans that lost their lives here, who are the 2 that survived. We know the 2 surviving Americans, at least one of them has been injured. They were transported via ambulance in the city of Matamoros, which is just south of the city of Brownsville. They were found, they were transported from wherever they were found, and we're still waiting on more details from Mexican authorities about where they were found, taken via ambulance to the U.S. border. It was at that point that they were transferred at the port of entry between the United States and Mexico, loaded into an ambulance to be sent to a local hospital on the U.S. side. So that is where we stand right now. We know that the 2 surviving Americans, they are confirmed to be back in the United States. Unfortunately, the 2 Americans that lost their lives as a result of this kidnapping, their bodies remain at the morgue in Mexico, waiting for family notification, next of kin notification in the United States.
And Matt, we are hearing that 1 person has been arrested, but what comes next in this investigation?
Well, this is something that Mexican authorities are going to update here in Mexico City. We know that the governor of the state of Tamaulipas, which is where this all happened, as well as the attorney general of that state, they're on their way right now here to Mexico City. They're going to brief the president of Mexico, and then presumably they're going to brief reporters. But what we're told so far is that at least 1 person has been detained. I think you can expect that number to go up. Clearly, this is a case that the Mexican government is paying attention to. This is something that they have put a lot of emphasis on, a lot of priority.
This is a major no-no for the record. Like a major, major no-no. You cannot fuck with American citizens, dude. You cannot. Like, a big-ass no-no. By the way, here it is. Lindsey Graham says he will introduce bill to set the stage for U.S. to use military force in Mexico after this. Oops, not this. Yeah, the only country that can get away with it is usually like Saudi Arabia or Israel. But other than that, like, you know, you can't do that. Mexican officials have arrested 1 person allegedly tied to the violent kidnapping of 4 U.S. citizens that left 2 dead. Jose Guadalupe and a 24-year-old Mexican national was guarding the house where cartel members held captive for days and tortured American friends Latavia Tay McGee, Eric James Williams, Shahid Woodard, and Zindel Brown. Authorities have not yet said whether Guadalupe is part of the violent Gulf cartel, the gang suspected of kidnapping the group that operates in the region. The captives were found Tuesday in a wooden shack in a rural area east of Matamoros called Ejido Tecolote, on the way to the Gulf Coast known as Baghdad Beach, according to the Tamaulipas State Chief Prosecutor Irving Barrios. By the time the group was discovered, Woodward, 33, and Brown in his mid-20s had been killed. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know how they did this. The survivors were rushed to Brownsville, Texas. Williams had been shot in the left leg, but his injury was not life-threatening. The 4 pals from South Carolina had traveled across the southern border so McGee could undergo a tummy tuck operation. Oh, my God. Shortly after entering the crime-ridden city of Matamoros, they found themselves in the crosshairs of a shootout between rival cartel gangs. The kidnappers held them at gunpoint and forced them back into the back of a pickup truck in a violent caught-on-camera abduction. The group was moved multiple times throughout Tamaulipas in order to evade authorities. They were even taken to a medical clinic to create confusion and avoid efforts to rescue them. Police are still working to uncover a motive for the kidnapping, but theorize the friends were confused with Haitian drug smugglers. Guadalupe is the only person arrested so far in the case. Investigators are still on the lookout for other assailants. The FBI offered a $50,000 reward for the victims' returns and arrested the abductors. This is a big fuck up on part of the cartels. They're donezo once American military goes in. I mean, I don't think they'll do that, but Mexico is number 2 in the world for medical tourism. So here's the thing. Yeah, the New York Times said the cartels do not typically fuck with American citizens because American law enforcement will come back with greater blowback. Exactly. So usually, as an American citizen, one of the most powerful things you have is an American passport. Why? Because it is backed by the might of the U.S. military, a very, very bloodthirsty, violent machine. Unless you are like the Saudi state or you are, acting as the Israeli military or something like that. In most cases, especially if you're like a trading partner of the USA or like a CIA client state, you're going to get fucking destroyed. Now, the reason why these guys got caught by the cartel, and I do believe this part, they probably thought because they're black that they were not American, but instead Haitian drug smugglers. I do definitely believe that. That's why you felt safe in Japan? No, motherfucker, I felt safe in Japan because Japan has no guns. We're talking about a fucking cartel narco state. If I felt safe in a cartel narco state, it would be because I'm a white American guy, and I know for a fucking fact that if something were to happen to me, the American military and the American government will respond tenfold. That is the truth. Like, it happens. This isn't to say that it doesn't really happen, but, it's not... It doesn't often happen against American citizens. Well, you said you don't think they'll respond for them? No, I think they... I mean, it depends. Matamoros is a very dangerous area of the border. There's been a do not travel order for that area for a while now. You think they're going to respond tenfold for the American Deserve 9/11 guy, Lamau? Yes, because because this is part of the same reason why I think America will respond. This is why America doesn't respond because it's like a black citizen or a citizen that has said things about America. America has to respond because this is an American citizen. Do you understand? Like we make the rules. You can't disrespect the big guy. You can't do that. Like, you can't touch an American anywhere around the planet. It is a reinforcement of America's, might of the empire. Do you see what I'm saying? But I'm Mexican and I wouldn't go to Matamoros. I mean, it's really fucked up. My hometown is right next to Matamoros, it's a cartel town, and nobody goes there except for gang-related shit. American media wants to paint it as tourists being kidnapped. Yeah, I don't know why they went to Matamoros if it's like a non-travel advisory place. If they, like very clearly, like, are there no other places in Mexico where you can get, I know medical tourism is a thing, but like when you do medical tourism in Mexico, you don't fucking go to, it's a major border crossing. I guess maybe it was to cross through the border. They were traveling through it and then got caught in the crossfire. You know? Except they were Palestinian American in Palestine in 2014. They did nothing after they beat Tarek up. Brother, did you not hear me say that? I said 2 notable exceptions to the rule. Hello? I literally just said 2 notable exceptions to the rule. Israel Saudi Arabia